First, I wanted to tell you about myself, my background, and from where I started my career and what I'm doing currently, and how we can going to help you people in your resume building, in your LinkedIn profile optimization, in your interview preparation. Looking on a current market scenario in last quarter and this quarter, market is really not good, but still people are getting the job. So we need to understand what are the do's and don'ts of a session. Sorry, I mean your resume, and what are the do's and don'ts of our LinkedIn, and as and the our interview sessions. Okay, what is going to happen in an interview? What kind of questions that we going to ask you in interview, and what are the expectations as an interviewer, as a hiring manager? What are the expectations they're having from a freshers, from an experienced candidate? First, let me give you a brief introduction about myself. So I have been done my graduation actually in 2017, and then I moved to a sales profile. I worked in 1 year in sales, but I felt that sales is not my cup of tea, or something which is not my cup of tea. My interest is towards the data. Then I got an opportunity with the same company. With I worked for 1 year with the Byju's as a data analyst. That time Byju's was a growing startup. Now also, I mean, it's a growing startup. So yeah, I worked for 1 year as a analyst there. My major roles and responsibilities were with the SQL, Tableau, Power BI. Okay, and although Excel is a father of all those, so all of you know that even it's a startup, even it's MNC, you have to use Excel everywhere. Excel, I mean, the advanced Excel is very important for our 9 to 5 life of a data analyst. I mean, so, and from that time, I got an opportunity with an upgrad. I worked for 2 years as a data analyst. Again, I got an opportunity. I got multiple good projects over there. So it was really wonderful experience with upgrad also. And currently I'm working with some US based MNC also. So yeah, it's like more than 4 years of experience I'm having as the analyst. Also, I'm a corporate trainer with Zomato. I take the sessions. I take their technical sessions like over SQL, Tableau, Power BI, and right now I'm in touch with different institutes also, and different colleges also as the webinar for a Tableau, Power BI, SQL. So yeah, that's all about my background, guys. First, my question is from all of you. I wanted to ask you from all of you, what do you guys think right now, as per the current market scenario, only technical skills is required, or the softer skills is also required? How many of you think that softer skills is required? How many of you think that only technical skill is enough right now, as per the current market scenario?
In current market scenario, I guess both the skills are required, because as long as you can't speak, you can't present, right?
Of course, right.
So your soft skill really matters.
Of course, even you're going for any profile, be it you're going for data analyst, you're going for Power BI developer, you're going for Tableau developer. It's for every profile you need the soft skills, which is very important part of any role, any job. I've faced more than 300 interviews in my last 3 years of I think after leaving the upgrad, I think I've given the 300 plus interviews, and what I analyzed from all the interviews, mostly interviews, what they expect from the day, from your first call of interview, the moment you receive the call from HR, the normal introduction call. So so you guys tell me actually, so what are the proper way to introduce yourself? 30 seconds of introduction. The moment you receive the call from an HR, from an hiring manager, from a company. I'm not talking about that recruitment firms. I'm not talking about the recruitment consultancies, because for them, they can just share your CV to a client, and further then your interviews will go further from there onwards. But I'm talking about 90% of the time you will receive the call from an HR directly. What do you guys think? What is the best way to introduce yourself? Because that 30 seconds of your the way you interact with an HR, the way you interact with a hiring manager, even in your technical interview, 30% of the time, that when the session start, when the interview start, 30% of the time they'll be going to give you over the soft skills only. They try to understand your profile, they try to understand about your project, and very important thing about on top of all this, they will see that how you are presenting yourself, how you are trying to present yourself, your data, your experience, your educational background also. So my question is from all of you guys. You tell me, what is the best way to introduce yourself in 30 seconds?
Myself Ganesh.
Ganesh, how are you?
I will grant giving the permission to talk with you. Firstly,
Okay.
I will introduce myself and my background qualities and my technical skills, project I have done, and my hobbies. That's it, sir.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? You mean to say that you can mention technical skills and your hobbies, right? Okay, Ganesh, like, do you really think that for an HR, for an hiring manager, your hobbies matters there?
Yes, sir. Hobbies matter, sir, because my hobbies is to work for the company. Like, for example, I play cricket, and
Okay.
for playing cricket, I need more energy. So in your workplace also, I have to be energy, more energy to work. So
Okay.
that that
No, no. I'm
works.
saying, no, no. I'm saying, okay. My question is, Ganesh, 30 seconds of call only. You have only 30 seconds to introduce yourself. That 30 seconds, that 30 seconds of how you are showing your impact over a mind of an HR, that matters here. That actually matters here. 30 seconds. You won't be having the time to introduce your hobbies actually. I mean your skill set. No, you won't be getting that much of time. 30 seconds is nothing. 30 seconds is nothing, but 30 seconds is going to change the call. Even that interview is not going to be in your favor. That 30 seconds you can change your I mean, so totally you can change it actually. So my question is from all of you guys. What the best way as per you guys thoughts actually on this? I'm sure everyone have gone through multiple interviews because we have a corporate people also here. We have the students also here. We have a freshers also here. So my question is from all of you. What are the best way to introduce yourself in initial 30 seconds?
So I guess I'm a fresher, okay, and from my perspective, um, yeah, right. First of all, a little background that
Yeah,
my
yeah, it's fine.
education
It's
background, and
okay.
then what I'm currently doing, I'm
Okay.
pursuing any degree or a course. Then
Okay.
what kind of projects I have done.
Okay.
I
So
guess in
do you
30 seconds I can explain only this.
okay, okay, okay. Great, great, great. Okay. Can we just modify this? Can we start with your education? Can we just discuss about your achievements, right? Your USP?
Okay, like
Yeah. Can we
projects and all.
not projects actually. Of course, in 30 seconds you won't be getting the time to discuss about your projects here. What you can discuss
Right.
about your achievements. What are the different as a data analyst? So instead of telling about your education, instead of telling about your education, if we can discuss about our USP, what makes us the perfect data analyst, then I think that 30 seconds of call is going to be into your so it's going to be in your favor completely. And how can you do this? How can you do this? Right. The question is from all of you. I'm just taking the question as So how can you do this? So this is a good way that you can start giving your quick intro, a small intro about your name and you are an data analyst. You have been working in multiple projects, like 5-6 projects. You can mention that you're currently working with a 5 or 6 projects. You can mention a very short your project's name, that you're working in this project, and 4-5 projects, the 4-5 the major projects you can mention over the call. And then you can quickly jump about your achievements and the problem that you have faced in this project. Okay, not to showing that what you have done in your project, not to showing your hobbies, because no matter what are your hobbies, how can that all thing will be covered in a behavioral interview. In Mang and Fan companies, in a big companies actually currently what happens, I'll tell you the interview rounds. First you will get a call from a HR. That 30 seconds of a call is going to change your total your call actually. Your interview process is even so even you're not confident, even you are just trying to show yourself your USP, that is going to be changed completely the call. Okay, so second part is like a manager rounds of interview. That will be a SQL rounds of interview. Maybe they will ask you some probability based questions also. Definitely there'll be there actually the 2 or 3 SQL based questions based on a joins. And I'll be not going to cover technical round today because we have a time crunch. So the SQL rounds will be there where they're going to ask you the 2 to 3 SQL question. That to a very basic question. Okay, and like third, in many of the interviews I have seen that they will ask you the probability based questions also. Some kind of, just to check your concentration, just to check your presence of mind there. So they will ask you that also. Before that, on top of all that, what they expect from you as an individual, as a candidate, to showcase yourself, your skills to presentation, a good presentation from your side. How can you present yourself? I mean, trust me, guys. Like even as an experienced like analyst, whenever I'm giving my interview, I keep my Tableau desktop, like I keep my Tableau profile handy. I keep my GitHub profile handy in my laptop, because whenever I have to want it, so let's say I'm giving some interview, I'm stuck somewhere, because it happens with anyone. We are humans, so it's stuck somewhere. Then only I convince my interviewer, my manager, the hiring manager, just to give an access for few minutes to showcase my skills, to present my whatever I have done it till now as a data analyst, whatever the projects I have worked on. And trust me, this thing had worked for me. This thing has worked for me 4-5 times when I was giving the 6-7 round of interview with vice president and with director level of the company. So that really helped me a lot. Okay, the moment you convince that person, the moment you have a time, you have a 2 minutes or 3 minutes of time to showcase your projects, to showcase your skills actually to that person. For that, you have to, in every interview, you have to make sure that you're keeping your Tableau desktop or your GitHub profile, or let's say you have prepared your project over a Wix.com. That should be handy always with you in your laptop whenever you're like going for any interview. Okay, I mean, like other than your offline interviews, because nowadays 90% of interviews are going through this online. So I think so it's my idea for the interviews actually. And now coming to the very important part, resume preparation. So how many of you think that, so what is an ideal score for an ATS? Like what is the ideal like ATS score, guys? Like what do you guys think? As per your thought, what is the ideal ATS score? And how many of you know this ATS, by the way?
Can you please explain it?
So ATS is an application tracking system. Nowadays, every company is using some tool actually, some AI-based tools actually. Nowadays, every company is using some AI-based tools. Some companies are using the different CRMs. Even the Naukri portal had that AI like integration right now. I mean, since last, I think like 1 year, they have some AI like integration. The moment you will upload your CV in Naukri, and then it's going to an HR, or it's going to an some hiring managers, right? So they will use the Naukri employer portal. They will just track all your all the important words which is required. So that I'll discuss it actually, but in general, ATS is an applicant tracking system. Its meaning is applicant tracking system. Is to track your profile as per their requirements. So they will just put some filters on that AI-based like tool actually, and they will track that only. If in your resume that all particular words are there, then it will filter out and it will showcase to them. If not, then it will just like ignore your CV. Okay, I hope I'm clear here.
Sir, thank you.
Great. Okay, my question is from all of you. How many of you think that what is the ideal ATS score, guys?
Above
It would
75.
be close to 80%, sir.
Is there like anyone here wanted to show your resume over a screen? Do we have any data aspirant here, any data analyst preparing for an when taking up the course and prepared your resume? Even if you have prepared not well, it's okay. I'll be going to discuss about your resume right now itself. So Rajat, you are an data like analyst, right? You are preparing for this profile, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, very first important thing, like Rajat. Okay, I'll be going to discuss about like today about his resume only. Okay, first I'll be going to start with the how you download the PDF, how you upload the PDF, how you share the PDF. So guys, very first important thing here, when we download the PDF, when we name the PDF, instead of writing just our name, it's a good approach if you are a fresher. Now let's talk about the Rajat's resume. The very first important thing in like Rajat's resume, what I can see here. So Rajat, your resume is in your in the first summary actually. The summary need to be changed here. So do you think that does the people have that much of
Sir,
time to
you were talking about some name. How do we name the resume?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's yeah. So let's focus first on your like summary, and then we'll go one by one. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about your resume, your summary first of all. So do you like think, Rajat, this this summary, people have that much of time to read this summary, that much of summary?
Possibly not, sir.
Of course, because they don't have a time. They will just give a 30 seconds of a time. 30 seconds of a time, like in your resume. Okay, so first of all, will not be writing this detail-oriented, highly motivated data analyst intern. No, you are not an intern. If you are working in a data, you are a data like analyst, guys. Don't ever mention in your LinkedIn profile also. Don't ever mention this data aspirant or data like enthusiastic or data intern. No, never. You are just trying to, you are just trying. I mean, so you are not even like confident on yourself that like, are you a completely data analyst? Are you an intern? No need to mention like in your resume. Okay, you can mention like in your roles and responsibilities in your profile, but no need to mention here. So it's simply you can mention here detail-oriented, highly motivated data analyst intern. First of all, your summary itself shows matrices and quantification. How many of you know the meaning of quantification? How many of you know the meaning of quantification, guys? I'm taking it's like a no one. Okay, great. No problem. See, so whenever we are talking about this data, like analyst group, like profile, like how many of you worked on this store procedure and like indexes in SQL? How many of you have worked on this store procedure and like indexes in SQL? Anyone have worked on any project on GitHub, anything on that? No one?
No, sir.
Curriculum, sir.
No, I'm talking about in one SQL topic. Have you heard about this store procedure or like indexes?
Index, sir, learn.
So did you get any chance to use like in your like project this like indexing? Like what do you know about, by the way? So what is the indexing in SQL? I'm sorry guys, I'm taking the one technical term here. Yeah, tell me.
It fetches the record easily with
Okay.
less time actually.
Does it help us to reduce our time? Time taking
Yeah,
of our like query optimization?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Sir.
Right. So can we instead of writing that much, can we use some kind of these kind of lines in our summary? What we have achieved, what the problems we faced out. So see, a summary should be, I'll just write it. A summary should be, guys, first about your profile. What are you best at data analyst? What aspire you to go for a data analyst? Secondly, you can mention the tools you know. And third line, you can mention what are the problems you got it. I mean, not the problems actually. What are the achievement that you achieved actually, and how you let's say you got some data. Okay, on real life you got some data, because I'm sure that you have been like getting to different data set actually for your projects, right? So let's say you got some data, you're working on some particular project. Okay, and that particular project you solved some problem with some like indexing. So instead of using this, we can write that how that indexing help us to reduce our task, reduce our work. Because for a data analyst, it's very important to meet the deadline of a client. Okay, I hope all of you like agree on this. That's a very important part, guys. It's like a very it's like a null value, like a headache in a SQL. Just like that, data is a very important to meeting a deadline. Let's say you are getting a very the large set of data, the billions of data, and you don't know this query optimization thing, store procedure thing, right? So definitely that will take a lot of time actually. So why we use this kind of the matrices and quantification over our resume? Because our ATS applicant tracking system can face this matrices very well. It's taking even okay, let's say if I'm giving 100 resume, in 100 resume we have a 50 resume of ATS friendly. ATS friendly resume means the resume with having a matrices quantification, action verb. I'll share you some list of some action verb which you can use it in your resume. Means you, instead of using the roles and responsibilities like working, using, no, it's not a good so there are few action verbs which are in demand and which is having some kind of in like ATS, in applicant tracking system, the software of this Naukri profile and others, Indeed.com and Sign.com, they all use the like ATS friendly tracking system. Okay, and ATS friendly tracking system is very important to use a quantification and matrices. This quantification and matrices you can use in that way only. Okay, the problem you have solved and the time you have reduced, the project time you have reduced with using some kind of, that you can mention simply that I have worked on this like project and then the time reduction was 40% of the time I have read. So this is the way how we can use our summary, because summary is the first thing that someone sees. right? And now talking about Rajat, now talking about your location. So where you based out? Like Rajat, you are based out in Bihar, right? Patna, Bihar, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. And what's your preferred location of job?
So, any south location or Mumbai and Pune, sir.
Instead of using this Patna, can we use the Delhi, Gurgaon, Bangalore?
Actually,
Don't
I
you-
was not
don't you
belonging to
think-
that region. That's why, sir, I wrote that one, sir. I was not having any.
Okay,
knowledge of that.
let's take a human psychology. Let's take a human psychology here. Okay, let's understand the human psychology here. Let's say you are the hiring manager, right? Okay, I'm the candidate. When you are giving me a call, I'm based out in maybe some Patna or maybe some some place in Bihar. Okay, I'm placed in like some place in मतलब बिहार में वहाँ पे कहीं पे हूँ मतलब पटना या मतलब बिहार में. आप मेरे को कॉल कर रहे हो from Bangalore, right? So don't you think that it will, going to be strike in your mind that candidate is based out in Bihar, so whether the candidate will be interested to relocate or not? Because relocation is a very important challenge, right? If the company is working on a hybrid, nowadays 90% of companies working in hybrid, guys. Okay, very hardly few companies are working on the work from home model. Very few companies. Okay, even they are working first 3 months, 6 months is going to be your hybrid only to like understand the project or understand the company culture. Okay, so don't fall in this trap that you'll be. I mean, very few company. I think 10% of company only in like India are working in a the remote actually. Okay.
So, so the
Don't you
conclusion is that if I am not belonging to that region, sir, so should we mention that area?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you have to mention. Then you just think about it, right? The moment the HR will see your resume actually. I'm sorry. So if they will see your resume that you're based out of Patna, so don't you think that as a HR or as a interviewer or as the hiring manager, they will not consider your profile? Because if somebody is based out in Bangalore, right? If somebody is based out in Delhi, if the job requirement is of the Bangalore and you're based out of Delhi, so definitely the preference will be given to whom? The person based out in Bangalore, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. So the person
So
based out in Bangalore.
is that the only solution that we just mention there, or we should reside there also?
It's not about residing. You can simply mention I have been my academics was there from, or maybe I was there actually for quite long time, and then I like came back to my hometown. Now I'm looking for an opportunity, and my family have been staying there, and this all things you can mention. Okay, because the moment you will say that you are based out in Patna, 90% of time, like I've seen this actually, especially with the freshers. If you're a fresher, then definitely first thing is like you're a fresher, right? So you're not having the experience. Second thing is that you're trying to relocate. You're not even like confident that whether you will relocate or not. See, the moment I like told you that what is the preferred location, you are saying me the Pune, Hyderabad, Delhi, Noida, right? So you're giving me a multiple options. So you are not confident. So then, like, how can we expect the HR or maybe a hiring manager to get the confidence? Location thing is there, which you need to be changed. Now, please, share your screen. Actually, don't remove your screen.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hello, this is Shriti. I have a question from you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I have done my MSc in 2016. Then there between a gap year to if I have get a chance of getting a job in IT field.
Okay, I'll take all the questions of this at the end of our session. Okay, I'll take all the questions. Okay.
Okay.
Now, education part, guys. Education part is one which is very important. Many of the time, I have seen many people actually they do mention primary school, secondary. Senior secondary means your 10th class actually your 12th standard. No, it's not required. Nobody even cares. Even let's say you're pursuing something. Let's say you're pursuing your MBA. Don't mention your MBA there. No need to mention pursuing. Pursuing is the one which ATS never considered. Trust me, guys. If you're mentioning pursuing, the pursuing is the very. I think so someone should not mention this pursuing an intern's word, because ATS CRM will not consider this actually. It will ignore your CV. You can Google this actually after the session. You can Google this. Okay. So pursuing, never mention the pursuing. If you are having some highest qualification, MCA, BCA, BBA, BTech, mention that only. Even if you're pursuing something, ignore that unless it's not completed. Don't mention it. I have taken one session actually of on the last week with some I mean, like college that is like GLA Mathura. So there, the people has mentioned that half CA, or maybe you know this like partial CA, half CA. I've seen one resume. So do you think that there is some meaning of half CA, partial CA? Like either it's a CA or like either it's not a CA. I hope all of you like agree on this. What I'm trying to like explain you guys here. Don't mention the pursuing thing, because never mention this pursuing, because pursuing is the word which ATS never consider this. It will ignore your CV. It will not even like give you an opportunity to get even first call. Don't mention like anything like this. Okay, first your highest qualification is good enough to mention. Don't mention like anything else here. Now coming to a certification part, how many of you guys think that certification is required to mention in top, or how many of you think that certification is not required to mention, or one certification is enough? How many of you think that multiple certification is required? I may be wrong, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, So I'm asking to all of you guys, how many of you think that one certification is good enough, or maybe writing the multiple certification is good enough?
1 or 2 is good enough, so I think.
Oh, okay, good. Anyone else?
So if 2 and 3 is justifying the position that you want to work in, that is fine, sir. But sometimes it might be a case that if you are in a technical field, you must learn new things also. So is that possible that we can mention that also?
Yeah, see, one or two is quite good enough, but not writing the 5-6 certification. See, you're already doing the certification from like upskill, right? Instead of writing multiple certification, you can mention your upskill certification here. That's quite good enough. Not need to mention the virtual, Coursera, LinkedIn. So see, these all LinkedIn certification is never good to mention in this here. You're making your CV more complex for an HR to give a time actually, and nobody gives more than 30 seconds, dude. No one gives more than 30 seconds. 1 minute is quite good enough. If you are very good with your portfolio, GitHub and all, they will definitely take your 30 seconds of this, and remaining 30 seconds they will give in your GitHub. Nothing more than that. Trust me. Okay, so certification, 1 or 2 certification is quite good enough. No need to mention this LinkedIn certification here. You can mention this LinkedIn certification in LinkedIn only. Coursera certification is okay. You can mention Coursera, but I think as per my experience, no need to mention this that much of certification here. Your upskill certification that you are doing right now with sir. Okay, so with your current like institute, that is good enough to write it. That's it. And that too, certification should always go in bottom. Education and certification should not become here, guys. Your project should be, your summary should be here, project should be here, then your education, then your certification. Certification should always go on last screen. So
Sir, can you please tell once again, sir, how many certifications we need to keep in the resume?
definitely 2 certifications is good enough to write it. No need to mention the multiple certifications. Let's say in Rajat's resume there are more than 5-6 certification. It happens when I was in my so when I started my journey in 2017, I used to write the 10-15 certification. Then I get to know, no, ATS resume, sorry, ATS CRM will never face this actually 10-15. And also above this all, like your HR, your recruiter, your hiring manager, they will consider this as a red flag. If you mention like a 5-6 of certifications, that makes no sense. Okay. I hope this is clear. And that too, certification should be relevant here. If you guys can see here, developing your emotional like intelligence. Okay, so do you think that is required here, guys? Like, do you think that is required here? My question is to everyone. It's not about. Sorry.
So is it beneficial in the side of that you are showing your soft skill part regarding that?
No. See, you can't. See. Okay, have you heard about anyone that they are a they are the good communication skill certified people? No, it's all about a practice. You don't take any certification for this. You can practice and you can showcase your skills. There you get a time to showcase your skills. Okay, that is what I started with the session, right? That you have to explain your CV. The way you explain your CV is going to be a positive for you. The positive side of yours. Okay, if you explain your CV very well as a data analyst, if you explain your CV with some data story, with some storytelling, how you started your journey, what makes you a perfect data like analyst, your USP. Okay, not over a like introductory call, over a manager round of interview. That is the how you explain your CV very well. Okay. So here certification is not required, and these, just mention the relevant certification. If you mention SQL, it's good enough. If you mention Power BI, it's good enough. If you mention some data storytelling, is good enough. But that's not required to write. Okay, like as a fresher, you can write it 2 or 3. Like 2 is good enough actually. I won't say that you can mention 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, not like this. LinkedIn, you can mention in LinkedIn only. Nobody cared the LinkedIn certification, because this certification, like LinkedIn certification is nothing, man. Anyone can take the LinkedIn certification, can go and can take the LinkedIn certification. I'm not demeaning you. I'm not demotivating you. I mean, so I'm just trying to explain you because like it's not about you actually. It's about many of the people here, right? Like up till now, like I think I've reviewed more than thousands of resume, and it's about many of the people. They use the data aspirant. They use the multiple certification. I've seen a CV where there was in 1 page for a certification only, 1 page of CV, next page was certification. So it's never a good approach to write that much of certification. Okay. Any questions before I proceed further, guys? Please keep the questions, stick to this only. I'll take other questions at the end of a session. If time permits, I'll definitely take all the questions. Questions? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. Now you can go scroll down a little bit. I think you already mentioned about GitHub like in top, right? Rajat, you already I mentioned your GitHub like
Yes,
profile
sir.
in top
I
of your resume, right?
sent my GitHub profile over there, sir. But actually, as a
Okay.
fresher, I am not having that project on till now. Which I
Can
am
you open your
developing
GitHub profile? Can you open your GitHub profile? I'm sorry, guys, if the session is taking too longer because I'm trying to cover everything in the session.
Sir, is my profile visible here?
Yeah, just go to your like homepage of your GitHub profile.
So it is mandated to have a photocopy on resume, sir?
Photo. Acha, you mean to say the photo, right?
Yes,
Your
yes, sir.
resume. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Photo. See, photo. I never suggest to use a photo actually, because ATS never takes more creativity. ATS will ignore if you use a more creative things. You make it CV very simple, crystal clear in bullet points, guys. Okay, don't mention more creativity. You are not the UI UX like designer, right? You are not a UI UX like designer. You are not into designing profile. We are into data profile. All the things what we have to do, all the things we'll be writing is in a bullet point, crystal clear, right? I'm just like our SQL, and the Power BI, the like things that what we do is actually very crystal clear. Should be good visualization. Visualization should be good enough. The readability should be good enough. I mean, just like that, everything we will write in that way. And on top of that, how you explain your CV, that is very important. So instead of using this photo, I never suggest to use a photo actually, because ATS will not consider this photo. If you use a photo, ATS will not so ignore your CV.
Okay, thank you, sir.
No problem. Yeah, Rajat, you were saying so you were showing like your GitHub profile. Can you show, please? Yeah. So go in your homepage. Very first thing. Do you think that you are a data scientist or you are a data like analyst? And do you think that the spelling is right? Data analysis. Instead of analysis, you can use like analyst here. And why Java? Why the Java is required here? Java is not required here either. See, I'm saying this for LinkedIn also, guys. Don't mention multiple things. You are a business like analyst also. You are a data scientist also. No, not that. Even if you are not confident at what you are, then how can you expect a HR or an hiring manager or someone just checking your LinkedIn profile to give you the opportunity if you are not confident enough? Don't write multiple things. Okay, so what I'm saying it here, guys, GitHub is not required here. GitHub will always in a top of your resume. GitHub will not come here. Here in project section, any good project if you have done, let's say you have taken one data set, you have worked on that SQL also, that, okay, let's say you have taken a Superstore data from Kaggle that is very famous, then you can use on that SQL, like, the analysis also. You have used that data with Power BI also. You have used that data with the Python also. Okay, then you can use a one project here. That too with the 4 to 5 bullet point. That's it. What you have done, what the analysis, what your achievement in that project, what you achieved in that project. That's it. Nothing to mention more in this project section. Your GitHub should always be in a top, guys. Will never be in between of your resume.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if I have built by taking help of the internet one dashboard, sir, so shall I present that there, sir?
Sorry. No. See, everything you can mention. So everything you can mention like in your GitHub. Okay, you don't need to mention separately. Even the Tableau public. Even let's say you are learning Tableau, you have done something in Tableau. No need to mention Tableau public link. Okay,
My question was, sir, I had created one dashboard, sir, with the help of the Excel. Shall I show that as a project, as being a fresher, sir?
So you can see. So there is no such kind of like restrictions on writing your projects. You can use multiple projects. I mean, you can showcase a multiple projects, but make sure that whatever you are showing, you should be confident enough. Okay, for dashboards, data storytelling is a very important skills, guys. If you are having a good data storytelling skills, then you can use a multiple dashboards actually. If not, then make sure that you're using one dashboard with a good data storytelling. Data storytelling is an art, by the way, and it's very important part for a data like analyst. Very important part. Okay, just like SQL is very important part, data storytelling is very important part, guys. So even if you're using a one dashboard, it's quite okay. Nobody will ask you that to to create a 5, 6, 7 dashboards. One dashboard is okay. Take a one data set from Kaggle, any good data set, and you can use it in the SQL also, the Power BI also, Python also, Excel also. That is a good approach. Okay. So 5 projects on 5 different tools is good enough. Okay. Now coming to an okay, just go on a bottom involvement. Instead of using this involvement, use a volunteer. But as a fresher, you can use a volunteer, but keep the volunteer thing on second, on a second last. Don't write a volunteer things here. Okay. And skills. First of all, your summary, then your skills. Okay. Then give me a second. Yeah. So involvement thing, instead of the involvement thing, you can mention volunteer. Volunteer, that too you can mention on the second last. The very last you can mention your certification. Involvement you can mention on second last. Skills you can mention after your summary also. Skills you can mention on second also. Okay. And then you can mention your projects. One project is good enough, guys. No need to mention link here. Link should always go on a top. It will not come in a bottom also. Your GitHub link is very important. Your GitHub is very important for your data analyst profile. Very important. It's like you may miss some learning some tool, but you don't mention so you should not miss this like GitHub actually, because again Naukri have Naukri like CRM have that access to just to go to your link like GitHub profile. Okay. So I think skills, I think that much skills is not okay. I think you have mentioned multiple things here. It's good enough to write it, but don't mention that multiple things actually here. Industry knowledge, no. Instead of like industry knowledge, you can over this skills you can mention this functional skills. Okay. And here you can mention industry knowledge is not a right word to use it here. Tools you can mention. First section you can make it tools. Okay. I think tools is quite good enough to write it in the skills. The interpersonal skills, it's okay if you can use it, but make sure whatever you are using. Analytical skills is a very big word, bro. Don't write the analytical skills. I've seen multiple in multiple resume. I am myself is taking the mock interview sessions so many times of my gap. So I've seen it actually. If you're using the analytical skills, it means you're using some word which is going to trap you itself. Don't mention anything as a fresher that is going to be an backfire you in your interview. Mention that only which is required and where you are confident enough. Is it clear? Any questions on this? Okay, any questions on resume, guys?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Audible,
Ask me. Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, whenever you are going to present the certifications, should we keep the link also, sir, in resume related to certifications?
Voice is not audible. Your voice is not audible. like audible clearly.
Sir, actually, you said 2 certifications is enough to keep in resume, sir.
Yeah, 2 certification is quite good enough.
Yeah, sir,
Don't need
the
to
certification link also should be provided by us, sir.
mention the certificate link also. That's quite okay. See, certification, nobody cares about your certification. Okay, nobody cares about, but yeah, even if you mention the link of the certification, even if you can generate the QR code of your certification, then also you can do that. Also, you can mention like on top of your, like your resume, the QR code. Okay, so that is possible actually. But yeah, so that you can do. But I think 1 or 2 certification is good enough. No need to mention multiple certifications here. Unnecessary.
I am Indu.
Okay, hi Indu.
BTech second year. I'm BTech second year. So, what courses I should start learning, or what certification I should do, or project ideas? What type project I should start doing?
I think you're
Can
already pursuing certification, right, from the upskill campus, right? I think it's like good enough to you can start with their course module. I think it's a good enough. And as you are into second year, you should more focused about LinkedIn. My next topic is going to be LinkedIn only. Okay, you should be more focused about building your connections in LinkedIn. So that's very important, very very important, guys. LinkedIn is like you can leave your food for a day, but you won't leave the spending a time at least 1-2 hours in LinkedIn. That's very important. Okay, so as you are into second year, like Indu, you should focus more over on networking. Simultaneously, you are taking up the course from sir, from the upskill campus. Then you can pursue that course, but don't forget to showcase your skills in the LinkedIn in different. You can, so in simple words, you have to bring your social media. So your social media should be very strong. Your social media platform should be very strong, because down the line, in the next 2 years, there will be multiple good opportunities it coming in your way with the Power BI developer, SQL developer, data analyst. Multiple good opportunities is coming. So if you're good with SQL and Power BI, that 2 tools, that is going to be a really it's going to be change your career completely. Okay. Initially, you'll be getting a decent package also.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Any questions, guys? Before I proceed with LinkedIn, any questions that are relevant to LinkedIn? Sorry, I mean like resume. How many of you think that LinkedIn is important, by the way? Like, give me a honest answer. Anyone is here that they think that it's okay if we want to use a LinkedIn? I think harder skills is enough. Like, give me your honest answer, guys.
It is only possible when you have lots of connection.
No,
LinkedIn as well.
no, definitely not. I won't agree on this. It's about you have to build your connections. You have to showcase your skills. You have to let people come to you. Okay, you have to be out of box. When we are saying a LinkedIn, you have to so there are 2 things. Either you can send a connection to people, or either people can send you a connection. So
No, sir, I am saying if you are not in LinkedIn, then you must be have some fundamental connection with others beside LinkedIn, except LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, of course, that is anyway is going to be, so it's going to be possible when, so let's say I'm talking about myself actually. I'm talking about my so my things actually. So previous, I think, so when I started working with this company, before that I think like I took a time actually of 2-3 months. I took a break actually. That time what I was doing, I was visiting to a different, I mean that time, by the way, like I was in a Bangalore for I think like for 2-3 like months. So what I was doing actually, I was going to a different events. I was like attending different events, offline events. Okay, I was trying to build my personal like connections, and that really helped me, guys. That really helped me a lot. Trust me. So I was going to different networking events. I was going to different data like analyst event. Even that event is not like relevant to a data. Even though I was going there, I was meeting to new people. I was meeting to co-founders, right? As this like sir said in the conversation initially, startups are hiring guys nowadays. Only thing is that you have to approach to a startup that how you can contribute to their like company. What kind of contribution you can do. Startups are hiring also. Startups are hiring always. In Bangalore and Mumbai, in Gurgaon, there are multiple thousands of startups are hiring. And this hiring goes always, every day. Even in this recession, hiring goes. Like, what you have to do, network with more and more people, like attend the more and more events. That is the one thing. And third thing is that you have to be confident enough in your skills that you can present yourself anywhere. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, if there is no question, I'm over to Apur.
Yeah. Okay, so we can wind up the session like if
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the session.